The real reason why Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. Since the basketball gods started WNBA, it has often been the subject of ridicule, as the balls was thought the game of heightened men. However, a new wave of rookies has changed the narrative and have transformed the league from a laughingstock to a respected entity. Record-setting numbers are appearing on the court, in the stands, and on television. Leading this transformation are Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, whose impact is staggering on the courts. For example, if we look at YouTube, the reigning MVP Brianna Stewart has generated approximately 15,000 views in the past 30 days, while the reigning Finals MVP A'ja Wilson has attracted around 8,000 views. Diana Taurasi, the WNBA GOAT, has accumulated about 32,000 views during the same period. Coming towards our legends of the day, Angel Reese commanded an impressive 450,000 views, while Caitlin Clark, the golden girl of women's basketball, astounded with approximately 3.2 million hits in the same period. Since these two entered the WNBA, there's been a significant rise in revenue from broadcast deals, poised to increase the average salary of WNBA players by 3 to 4 times. But here's the twist in story. They have a beef, or at least a unique and complex relationship. Time and again, we've seen it in their taunts and physical clashes. There's clearly something between these two that goes beyond basketball. However, on TV, they deny that they have any beef. Like Reese has said, "I love Caitlin, I love her game, and I admire everything she's done." But actions speak louder than words. During the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend practice, after Caitlin missed a half-court shot, Reese swooped in, made the shot, and high-fived everyone except Caitlin. Well, that was just an iceberg. Let's get into the beef. When the WNBA started in 2002, the basketball gods looked at how the league was doing and thought to themselves, "We need to give this league something good." That year, Caitlin Clark was born in the Midwest state of Iowa. About 104 days later, Angel Reese arrived on the colorful East Coast in Maryland. It was clear from the start that these two were meant for the basketball world. Both were born into families that were very much involved in the sport. They both had basketball childhoods that could easily fill a video or two, but to sum it up, they were far from ordinary. As expected, they both excelled in their high school years. Caitlin Clark amazed at Dowling Catholic High School with stunning performances such as 60-point game, 13 three-pointers in a game, and over 30 points per game for 2 seasons in a row, which made her Iowa Miss Basketball. Caitlin was flashier than Angel Reese, though the latter was just as dominant, becoming known as a double-double machine. In her junior year, she scored an average of 22 points and had 19 rebounds per game. Another area where Reese was better than Clark in high school was in championship. While Reese was winning a state championship each year she played, Caitlin never seemed to be able to capture that same prize. Since the two states are located far from each other, Maryland and Iowa school teams never played against each other. But they did meet a couple of times during the AAU tournaments. Their biggest clash was in the 2019 finals, when Angel Reese's takeover team triumphed over Caitlin Clark's Iowa team in the final match. These two were among the best players in ESPN's class of 20s and 20 rankings, with Angel Reese at number 2 and Caitlin Clark at number 4. With high school behind them, it was time for the next chapter of their journey, where their rivalry would truly ignite and capture the world's attention. Caitlin chose to play at the University of Iowa to stay close to home, and because she admired head coach Lisa Bluder's ability to develop point guards. Meanwhile, Reese made a similar choice and opted for the University of Maryland due to its proximity to her home and the fact that head coach Brenda Frese had been trying to recruit her since 8th grade. In their first college matchup, Angel Reese played a relatively minor role, logging just 11 minutes of game time, while Caitlin Clark dominated the narrative, scoring 34 points and shooting 9 of 16 from beyond the arc. Iowa had a disastrous first quarter and couldn't fully recover, but Caitlin broke the Iowa women's basketball freshman scoring record. Though Angel Reese and her team secured the victory, Caitlin Clark unquestionably got more glory. Their next showdown came less than a month later at the Big Ten Championship. Similarly to the first game, Angel Reese played a relatively minor role, scoring just 6 points and grabbing 6 rebounds but winning the game, while Caitlin Clark flirted with a triple-double, amassing 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. In their second year, this dynamic remained unchanged. In their sophomore year, they faced off in just one matchup, where Angel Reese, finally getting more minutes, dominated with 25 points and 13 rebounds compared to Caitlin Clark's 19 points on 25 field goal attempts and 10 turnovers. Throughout that next season, she delivered phenomenal performances, such as a 26-point, 28-rebound game against Texas A&M, achieved 20 consecutive double-doubles, and averaged 23 points and 15 rebounds per game. Angel Reese was finally starting to receive the recognition she deserved, becoming a star in the eyes of the world. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark had already ascended to megastar status. While she wasn't averaging a double-double, she was constantly on the verge of a triple-double, and had just completed a season where she led all of women's basketball in both points and assists, complemented by her incredible highlight reels. Angel Reese might have risen in popularity, but she was still far from Caitlin Clark, who was becoming a towering figure in women's basketball. This home game was somewhat similar to a road game at times. That is just the number of Clark fans that are currently crammed in the arena. In 2023, both teams were on the roll and were winning match after match. This led to the fateful day when Caitlin and Angel both got to the NCAA Finals. This would be the only time that these two teams would face each other in the entire season, and it was scheduled to be played on the grand stage of college basketball. The game became a historical event and set records with almost 10 million viewers, the most watched women's basketball game. Caitlin Clark was ready to rumble, but Angel Reese was ready to play, and she was the anchor for LSU's defense, giving Caitlin all she could handle. However, it would not be fair to give all the credit of LSU's victory to Reese alone. LSU's strong team had 3 players who each scored 20 points and more, while Iowa relied on Caitlin. One of the turning points occurred before the half when an Iowa player lost the ball and an LSU player made a three-pointer at the buzzer. The game was not only another win for Angel Reese, but it became legendary because of her trash-talking. In the last moments of the match, Angel provoked Caitlin in a manner that is not typical for a finals match, which caused quite a stir. Reese was immediately slammed by critics for being unsportsmanlike, foreshadowing Caitlin, waving in her face and pointing at her finger. Nevertheless, Caitlin bravely came for Angel's defense and said, "I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. She competed, so did I." Nevertheless, the criticisms continued, painting Angel as a villain, which is quite a lot of pressure for a 21-year-old. Moving to the next NCAA tournament, the story changed dramatically. This time, their confrontation happened earlier, in the Elite Eight, and Caitlin was prepared. Angel had 17 points and 2 rebounds, while Caitlin was simply out of this world, playing as if she was inspired by basketball spirits. She scored 41 points, 12 assists, and made 9 out of 20 three-point shots. She was in total control throughout the game. Angel's strategy to focus on stopping other players backfired spectacularly. Caitlin got whatever she wanted on the court, leading Iowa to victory. Yet, despite her heroics, Caitlin again faced defeat in the finals, and her quest for the ultimate prize continued. Caitlin's star soared after being the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, and she signed a game-changing endorsement deal with Nike worth $28 million. Angel, on the other hand, was drafted 7th and signed with Reebok. Though her contract details were not disclosed, it was widely believed to be less lucrative. Angel Reese said that the WNBA is popular because of her, and not just one player. However, the facts prove that Caitlin Clark is the only one who has contributed to the WNBA getting the attention it has received in the last year. 3 of the most watched college basketball games of all time were the ones that featured Caitlin Clark, who attracted more than 14 million viewers. On the other hand, Angel Reese and LSU's highest-viewed game that did not feature Caitlin Clark only attracted 1.5 million viewers. When you add the sponsorships to some of the most popular brands and TV shows, it proves the true popularity of Caitlin, not Reese. Teams are changing stadiums for the extra fans thanks to Caitlin. The Chicago Sky only sold 1,000 more tickets than the previous year. This may sound like a lot until you hear that the Fever are doing 12,000 more. Nevertheless, Reese is doing a good job of ensuring that her name is on the lips of many people. But the truth of the matter is that Caitlin is the only reason that WNBA has witnessed some success in the recent past, and this has led to the development of the beef that can be observed in their interactions. During one of the games, Angel hit Caitlin on the head with a ball during a drive, which she said was a block. Some people doubted her intentions because of Angel's previous behavior in playing aggressively against Caitlin. Angel's inability to check on Caitlin after the hit was a violation of the sportsmanship standards, unlike Danny Green, who checked on Klay Thompson after a collision. In another game, An altercation occurred where Angel's teammate verbally assaulted Caitlyn and then physically assaulted her to the ground, while Angel was clapping and egging her on. It appeared as though the competitive nature of the game was turning into hostility, but there was a ray of light for their relationship during their first WNBA game against the USA women's national basketball team. Caitlyn made a perfect pass to Angel, and they both bumped fists with each other, suggesting that they could be the next Bird and Magic. Their careers are now linked as one. Like Bird and Magic, it is yet to be seen whether they will become good friends or remain bitter rivals. One thing is for sure, Caitlyn and Angel are going to bring WNBA to the next dimension. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be together again in the next video. Bye!